Welcome to the CBS Eye on Money podcast. It is Thursday, December 30th. Mark?
Are you ready? Are you ready for tomorrow?
Mark, do you like New Year's Eve in general or not?
I mean, I'm not one to go out to a party or anything. I'd just rather stay home on New Year's Eve and enjoy it with my family. I like New Year's Day, sitting around eating some drinks, yeah.
Yeah, I like New Year's Day. I am not a huge fan of New Year's Eve, although I one time in my whole life, as a lifelong New Yorker, one time saw the ball drop, not on purpose. What I used to love to do when I was here I was in my youth, we used to love, even as a family, to go to theater on New Year's Eve. And depending on how long the show ran for at the time, one time we came out and we did actually end up in Times Square for the ball. It was kind of fun. I never need to do it again, but it was kind of fun.
My old apartment in Midtown, before the view was obstructed by a bunch of new construction, for a few years I had a view of the ball dropping.
And that was good. We could have been at that apartment forever. I wonder what happened to that apartment. Do you think they ever sold it?
It's, I saw my old super last week because we became really good friends over the years. So we keep in touch, and I saw him. The apartment is still there, unoccupied. Nobody has been in there since I left.
You're kidding. That's many years.
So bizarre.
Wow. Well, you were such a great tenant. See? You tried to buy it, and thank God you didn't.
Right.
All right. If you've got a financial question, you ready to buy something? You ready to start the new year off? I know you got some resolutions. Here's the easiest resolution that I think you're going to be able to keep. What you're going to do is you're going to say, I resolve to ask Jill and Mark a question. All you need to do in order to actually make good on that resolution is go to jillonmoney.com, click on the contact button, and send us your question. That is what Michael did. Michael is on the line from Pennsylvania. Hello, Michael. Happy almost 2022. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jill. How are you?
Fantastic. So tell us how we can help you out today.
Yeah, I'm calling in because I really wanted to talk with you about our situation with IVF. We are starting the IVF process after a several-year journey down fertility treatments, and this is the road it landed on. I'm just wondering whether I should use some HSA funds for it. I hadn't really been planning on that all along. I thought the HSA was really going to be kind of a supplemental retirement fund, and now we have about a $20,000 cost coming up for the IVF treatment and genetic testing and everything. So I'm wondering what you think about that.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and how old you are and how much money you have saved and things like that.
Yeah, so my wife and I married 11 years. We are in our mid-30s. I'm 36. She turns 35 next week. We have pretty high-earning jobs, and not having any children, it's let us accumulate some wealth. So we're pretty blessed in that.
How much do you earn?
Together, we earn, our last AGI came in around 300.
Are you both making retirement plan contributions on that 300?
We are both maxing out our Roth 401ks. My employer has a match of 7%. Hers does not have any match.
7%?
Yeah,
wow.
Really, really nice.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, so you're putting money into those Roths, and how much money is in the retirement savings so far?
We have about 240 in mine, and hers is at about 140. And then I also have a deferred comp plan with this employer I've been at for the last 2 years that I have a 56K in.
Okay, that's great. How much is in the HSA right now?
Between our two HSAs, we have about 17,000.
Okay, and are you maxing out your contributions into the HSAs right now?
We both are, yes. Okay. We are switching insurance. We were on separate. I'm joining hers, so I need to make sure I notice when they let us change the contributions to make sure we continue maxing it out.
Right. Do you guys have an emergency reserve fund, just some cash that's floating around?
Yeah, our emergency fund right now, it's probably covering us in the 6 to 9 month window, and we are contributing $1,000 a month to that to hopefully get us to the 12 month
And what about non-retirement savings, like a brokerage account, a little kitty of fun meme stocks, or whatever it is you want to do with it? But what else do you have?
Yeah, so I started listening to you back when Betterment was your sponsor, and so I've been using Betterment for quite a while, and we have 200,000 in Betterment that
Wow.
we split between our emergency fund, a small amount for retirement, and then one for we've done some real estate investing, so that's kind of where we store our shorter term investments that we might purchase another property with.
Oh, hold on a second. Let's hear about this. So tell us about your primary residence first.
We have a beautiful home in a city, single family home, but they're all real close to each other. And we also own the little house next door to us, as well as another one in the neighborhood. So we rent out on an annual lease basis next door, and then across the neighborhood we do shorter term rentals through Airbnb and other things like that.
How much is your primary residence worth, would you guess?
Houses are selling on our street for over 500, so we could probably get 550.
And what's the outstanding mortgage on the primary?
We owe 277.
What's the interest rate?
We just refinanced. I got it to 2.75.
House next door, what would you say that's worth?
That one's probably closer to 200. It's a little funky. It's older. Hasn't been touched up as much as ours has. So,
And is there a mortgage outstanding on that?
There is. That one is around 160.
And the neighborhood house, how much would you say that's worth?
That one's probably, we bought it for 250 a year and a half ago, and the market's gone kind of nuts. So I could see that being like 300, and we owe 140 on it.
Now, is there anything else that is floating around that we should know about?
We do have, through her employer, although neither of our insurance cover fertility treatment, her employer does offer a supplemental benefit that's a $10,000 reimbursement, one-time lifetime benefit for fertility treatment. So we've been using that for the stuff we've done so far, and we will use that. Not an enormous amount, but something like $6,500 coming back to us.
And you're going to need another 20, or would you think it's going to be 20 all in?
20 all in, yeah.
Okay. Mark, do you have an opinion about HSAs using this, tapping the 17,000 in the HSA for the use of IVF versus doing something else? What's your opinion on that?
I don't know if I would use it, to be honest.
I totally would not use it. Time is on your side, okay? I hear this story, and I don't know how you reacted to this, Mark, but I was like, they got a bunch of money, and then until you started telling me about these other two homes, I was like, where's all the money? Because you guys obviously make a good chunk of change, and you're good savers. And I realize now that all the savings you've done, in addition to your retirement savings, is in these two real estate endeavors, in addition to your primary. I look at this situation and you've got this great free cash flow. Obviously, there's money that's coming out of your rental properties as well. I kind of want you guys to have more money. And I want to be clear that, if you are looking at having a kid, then you're going to need some pot of money so that, either or both of you is going to take some time off from working. You're going to take a hit to income. You're going to need some money. I need more money set aside. I want that non-qualified or taxable account to be more. Do you hate hearing that, Michael? Do you hate hearing that, I don't want you to buy more real estate? Because I feel like I've just burst your balloon for in some way.
No, I don't hate that, and I do think it's a good reality check for us because the first house we did have a lot of extra money lying around and thought let's do this. The second house we bought because it was a little bit unexpected. The house next door went up for sale, and we did not want a developer to come in, knock it down, and build another house like ours next door.
Yeah, totally.
So we wanted to kind of control the neighborhood a little. So. I thought real estate could be the avenue for, potentially a fine situation down the road. And, I certainly haven't put serious consideration to what our life will be like with a child and what kind of liquidity we'll need. And I think your you're raising that concern pretty, at a pretty appropriate time for us. So I did, you asked if there was much else, and we do have a little bit of cash sitting in some money market and probably have more sitting in my checking account than I really should at this point. But
then use that to pay. Then use that for the IVF for sure. Because I love this HSA. I mean, listen, the HSA, you're so young. And certainly if you're going to have kids also, that you're going to have these needs in the future. Those needs are only they're going to be compounded by kids and you're aging. And so I'd love to let these HSAs keep going. And then listen, you're going to have kids. And then all of a sudden you're going to say to me, well, I also need to do retirement. I need to do education funding. You cannot fund your kids' education and say well, I guess I'll just, I hope I could sell this house and then it's a tax event. And that's why I want to beef up that liquidity a little bit. Just quick question for you. Do you guys have life insurance right now?
We do. Yeah, I have, thanks to my employer, I've got a pretty inexpensive plan plus a third-party plan that I'm covered up to over $1 million. She's covered at about $500,000 between her employer and our third-party plan.
Okay, that's great. Did you guys do any planning in terms of your estate? Do you have wills? Do you have anything it's going to be more complicated in the future, but do you have that right now?
We do. We have that set up. Previous employer had that benefit that was minimal cost to us, but that's, I'd say, 4 years stale at this point. So certainly if the pregnancy happens and we wind up with a little one, I think that's something will definitely be refreshing.
Mark, you know what? I just got this flash forward and I thought, oh my God, they're going to have twins. What do you think? And you can have Mark and Jill as your twins. What do you think? Are you willing to do that right now and commit to those names?
I will put it up for consideration.
All right. Now, at this point, any other questions that you need help with, Michael?
No, I really don't think so. I think this was kind of the big thing, and you really opened my eyes to some things to consider beyond just the immediate term. And I know the other consideration is always what's the expected tax rate. So I know taxes are pretty low right now, so keeping that money in there and continuing to contribute while taxes are low is a good priority.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have any more questions, anything we can help you with, don't hesitate to give us a shout. Thank you very much. It's like a very intimate thing you just shared with us. So we really appreciate you giving us a shout today.
Thanks a lot, Jill. Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate it.
All right. If you want to join us, if you want us to help you with your child's future, your own family's future, your own future, we don't care. Whoever you are, if you need some money help, go to the website, jillonmoney.com, click on the contact button, and don't forget to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Follow the Eye on Money podcast wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please leave us a rating review. And we would like to remind you that we are distributed by CBS. Mark Talercio is the most fantastic executive producer in the world. We drop episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Please put your hands on someone's back today. And remember, here at Eye on Money, we have a mantra: curiosity, compassion, community. Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you next year.